So let me turn share on here real quick.
Okay.
I had made just a brief overview of some of the stuff that I had been working on and put it out on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna just play this for a second
Okay.
while it zooms in on so this is what was consuming a lot of my time as I took the RPi and put a couple of hats on it, one for this disk drive and one for USB. Previously, I had a bigger USB hub that was taking more space because
Oh,
I needed an external USB and it needed to be powered because I was running out of USB ports on the native RPi, so that's why I got the USB hub. So then the RPi 5 is in the middle there and the disk drive is at the top. So I'm, feeling pretty good about having this powerful little RPi 5
hmm.
on on the machine to do some of the heavy navigation stuff
Okay.
and the vision stuff. And then the just trying to get to where I had a picture of the teensy. That's not cooperating here. Bear with me. Come on, Zoom. These are the two power 12 volt to 5 volt power deals. Both of them are rated for about 3 amps. So I
Okay.
needed two in order. The RPi 5 draws enough that it would consume a whole one, and the USB I think required 2.5 amps. So I just doubled up on those to get power to everything.
Do you have a
Um,
part number for that? For those two step downs?
I don't have a part number. It's an Amazon.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
you go into Amazon and do a search for DROK, I think is the
Oh,
manufactured
okay.
12 volt to 5 volt.
Yep. Got it.
Actually, to be honest, Bob, you were the first one to find these. I got this because you found them.
Yeah,
Um,
I used a different one, but I wonder how much energy mine is wasted with a display like that.
oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Um, and then over here is the
Yep.
Teensy with the Ethernet connector and the NRF radios. So
So you had to twist the cable.
yeah, so that's a reality in trying to get these things. I mean, I guess if you could get somebody to make a cord for you or make it yourself exactly the right lengths.
Hmm.
I'm dealing with, pre-made cables and
Yeah.
trying to fit it in as close as I can, but yeah, there's still some slop there and it's
Yeah.
not as elegant as it could be.
Mhm. But it works.
It works, but ultimately, it'll if I want to clean it up even more, I'll have to do something different than that cable management. And then this is a camera that I had unused, and so I've been futzing with trying to get it to work. It's an Oak Light C camera,
Mhm.
so
And you can do stereo with that?
it's hard to see in this particular picture. But if you look at it, you're going to see three holes in it. There's a camera on
Yeah.
there's a hole here, a hole here, and a hole here. Um, I believe the answer to your question is yes. I
Okay.
think it's a low end, what they call a low end camera, but I think it's it might be enough. Certainly, it's going to be enough for teleoperation. I don't know if it would be enough for, if I ever wanted to move into machine learning or
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to get all these components to work together at the moment. And here's another picture that shows a little bit of that
Oh,
might
yeah.
that might be the camera and this, I don't know what
Oh,
these things are, but there's something there.
okay.
Um, and then this is a Arduino simple GPS. They put this U-Blocks unit on. You can see two antenna lines coming out of that,
Hmm.
um, which allows you to get constant heading data. So that's really useful
Okay.
for doing navigation, because it's also going to be an RTK fix, which so you can feed in correction data. And this is so new that they're continuing to update the firmware. But and so at the moment, I think it's only running at 1 hertz, and I needed to run it, 10 or 20 hertz. I think they're advertising that it'll go up to 25 hertz, but
Hmm.
at the
They're not
moment,
there yet.
yeah, which is like, hey, I bought this, and
Yeah.
I think when on the website it didn't say anything about,
Is
well,
that
we're gonna give you 1 hertz to start with, and a few months later we'll give you something faster. But
vaporware?
yeah, so I suspect they will get there.
That cable on the right-hand side that
This
goes
one,
to your USB?
yes, this is doing three things. It's powering this unit, and it'll take data off of the unit, and I'm also need the USB to be bidirectional because I need to feed correction data into it. But um,
Oh, okay.
it's a USB it's a USB cable because for me, I'm getting correction data from my personal base station, and
Right.
I have to inject that
Okay.
into the GPS.
And that just goes into your USB hub?
That's the intent. I ask, Grok or Chat GPT or one of them, and it said, yeah, the USB hub is fast enough. Save the fast USB ports on the RPi for the cameras. So
Oh, sure.
that's what I was
Okay.
intending on doing. So that's what's going on in my world, is just trying to build out this electronics board and get it to a point where, and now that the weather is, it's not raining, I can go back out and do a little bit more field testing and work on my
Oh.
transmission. But if I go to my GitHub and open my folder, um, this is, you know, getting my steering pid finalized and transmission position finalized is what I need to do. Haven't started any of this on that. Um, I'm working on both of those. So on navigation, haven't started any of that. On electronics board,
Hmm.
I'm in process on these. So those are done, but I haven't marked them complete.
Okay.
And so those three things I still have to put on the board and finalize positions. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sort of liking this to-do list, having it here. It sort of keeps me focused
Yeah. Knocking them off one by one.
and on track.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about your Obsidian vault.
Hmm.
Um, I asked Chat. how to do this. And they at first they recommended not putting it in the my link with Git or in the same folders as Git.
Hmm.
But then I see you've got it later on another note. It said, well, eventually you can put it inside that Git folder. But you've got yours on your GitHub.
Yeah, so this is my highest level uh, repository,
Okay.
and I have you know a a teensy that requires code. I mean, originally I always thought GitHub is for managing code,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have a folder for the code for the teensy. I have a folder for the code on the Raspberry Pi. I have, my DIY radio control that has code on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a base station that has code on it. So
Yeah.
GitHub serves me very well to keep the code for my overall stuff in
Okay.
those folders. My folder for documentation is here. And
Oh, okay.
for the first few weeks having done this, it's working out. I, I it's I don't know of a better way to do this.
Okay.
There might be a better way, but remember, I am coming from Microsoft OneNote, where all of the stuff that's here was in my OneNote, and it wasn't. This makes it easier to have a Claude conversation to say, look at this MD file,
Mm-hmm.
and then give me code to test on my
Oh,
base
yeah.
station.
Okay.
That makes it very, um, well, it's working out for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm not a professional programmer, so I'm just going to say what's working for me, and that's working for me.
so when you pose um, a question to make something, then that Claude is on your development platform and it knows to go to um, that vault on your Git account, on your GitHub. How does that work?
Well, I have there's three different ways for me to access Claude. Well, I'll just show you how it works.
Okay.
The primary way for working for me instead of confusing you with multiple ways. So I have a laptop running Ubuntu 2404. Um, that is, I consider it my Claude laptop.
Okay.
And I think Claude has different ways of interacting with it, but at the moment, um, what you're looking at is a Claude screen.
Okay.
So to get answering your question, how does it work?
Mm.
I I open a window on my Ubuntu machine and I type in Claude and it fires up.
Oh, so you go to your terminal and type Claude and it fires up.
Right. Before I fire it up, though, I go to my um, this is a clone of my repo on GitHub. So this is in the GitHub language, you call it a clone. So these folders exist at GitHub up
Yep.
on the web, but they also exist on my Ubuntu machine.
Yep.
And you've got to keep them in sync. And that's what the whole push-pull thing
Okay.
is all about in GitHub.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and so when I go to this folder, and fire up Claude, it goes out and reads this MD file, this
Yeah.
markdown file, which, um, has got a lot of history about
Okay.
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's the MD file. Okay.
Right. And I can also go in, um, like this is me trying to have this is talking about the GPS.
Mm,
And this is some specific conversation that we had about in my on one of my tractors, I have two F9P um, GPS units,
hmm
and there is one particular message type that has heading. On this X20D that I showed you in the picture earlier,
Yep.
I've got to actually pull a different message type in order to get heading.
Oh, okay.
And so that was a a learning, that's a piece of data that is different between using these two. And
Okay.
so I just asked Claude, shouldn't we store that somewhere? And it went out and said, oh, you've already got a .md file for the F9P, but that's F9P specific. Let's create a MD file for,
The 200.
yeah, the X20D. And let's just go see if it did that. If I'm smart, I'll know where that's at. I would have wanted it to put it here. Let's see. Well, here, let's make this a little bit faster. So, oh, it's not rendering that. That's interesting.
Mm.
Um, see, it put 2 hours ago, it put created this X20D MD file
Oh, okay.
with what we learned about how to get the heading
Oh,
data.
okay.
So from my perspective,
Yep.
I I think any I think having a folder with your documentation inside of your GitHub is not a bad thing,
Okay.
but it's working for
So
me.
is so you've got Obsidian, an Obsidian folder in your GitHub.
Yes, you can
Oh,
see it. You can
great
see it
start.
here,
Yep.
and this is, you know,
Yep.
something like this is where my C code lives that runs on my Teensy, or Python code lives
Yep.
um, under the Raspberry Pi folder.
So on your development computer, you call up Claude, pose a question, and then it goes to your GitHub for the MD file.
This is my Claude computer. If you want to call it the development computer, that's fine.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
fine.
my
Yep.
this is my laptop that I have Claude Code installed on.
Okay. So you just go into Claude and pose the question, and then it goes to GitHub. Okay.
Once it's all set up, yes.
Well, yeah, once it's all. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting.
So that's what's working for me. And commit is a you're going to get push, pulls, commits. I mean, those are GitHub commands.
Yeah,
Um, and it's not, again, it's one more thing to learn, Bob. One
yeah.
more thing to learn because it's not, it has its own learning curve.
Okay, when you go, if say I'm working in Claude, I'm working on my drive program to run the motors, and I want to push it to Git. So I do a GID and then the file name, or do I have to put like the directory that it's supposed to go in and then the file name?
Let me restate the question. You've got source code that you want to update to your GitHub? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. How do I know where it goes or where it should go?
Well, I mean, I think you're asking me how to push code to Git.
Yeah.
Um, the if you do it manually, come on. This is an example of you change the directory to the directory where your um, repository is cloned,
Hmm.
and then you issue a command. Oh, you issue a push command. Now
Right.
it's not here, but before you do that, you actually also have to uh, you have to give it an instruction. You have to do an add and you have to do a commit.
Oh,
Um, so this is you need to make sure you have a Git organized. You have to do an add, which is it's the verb that it says it's staging everything. Then you do a commit and you give it a comment so it goes into your documentation. Um, and then you do this push. There's some other things in here that you can do, but
okay.
it takes about four commands. So
Uh,
if you're doing it personally and you're doing it manually,
mhm.
um, it's a series of those four.
Those commands. Okay.
Yeah. Um, this this was the documentation I gave myself. You change to the directory, you do an add, you do a commit with a comment. Um, this is sort of an optional one, and this is the actual pushing it up.
Okay. More stuff to learn.
I don't think I was sharing my screen when I showed you that, was I?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Hold on a second. I'll put it in the chat. It's like they've changed the
Oh,
color. Can you see the chat?
yeah. It's a git add dot.
And the dot's important. It's not, you might think that's a mistake. It's not a mistake. And
Oh,
so
okay.
what I might do, Bob, if it's your first time using GitHub, is I might go out and find some YouTube videos to say, explain it to me. Or if one of the one of the AI things is helping you, you can just say, you know, can you push this to GitHub for me? And they'll,
It'll come up with, okay.
depending on which one,
Yeah.
it may or may not have the right connectors to do that. Like Grok, as an example, I don't think I've been able to get Grok to do direct GitHub manipulation. I believe ChatGPT will. I believe Claude certainly will. Um, and I don't think I've tried any of the others.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Other questions?
No, I think I got a fair idea. I'll watch the video a couple more times, but
So what's going on in your world?
um, well, let's hmm, where do I share? Hmm. Okay, there's the share button. Okay, share. Okay, so share it. So now I want to go. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you can't see my screen yet.
It says you've started screen sharing, but you haven't actually shared anything.
Oh, okay. Ah, screen sharing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
We
Full
used to
sc-
be able to see your Apple screen
Yeah.
after you press
Oh,
share.
let's start that one then. Okay. Yep. Oh, I stopped it. Dang it. Come on. Okay. So now,
Now you're making progress.
okay, you're seeing Claude. Okay. Um, first, I went to this one and let's see. Start off with this one. Then that showed me how to get things going. I can't call up terminal on the iPad, but Yeah.
Where is your code?
Um,
Sitting on your Jetson Nano?
yeah, there's code on the RPi and code on the Nano, and there's code on my laptop.
And what you're working on right now, this instant, is it the code on the RPi?
Um, this one is,
No, forget this.
oh,
What's whatever you're working on today, is it the RPi or the Nano?
the RPi. So now I'll,
And have you cloned your repository to the RPi?
yes. So I did a test to confirm it, and it does connect. Everything's up to date. So my next step is to develop the code to drive the motors. And I have that from the old way of doing things. So I'll bring that in and exercise it to see if it works. If it does, then I just push it to GitHub, right?
I think you have options on your workflow. Do you do you mostly interact? I'm going to ask a question just to understand. Do you mostly interact with Claude using your this Apple
No, it's a
tablet?
laptop.
Um, in this message box that you have there, reply to Claude. Start a new chat. Click on new chat.
Right there. This chat or on the Claude?
Well, is this the only chat you use?
No, I use Claude.
Or isn't this Claude?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to the meeting chat instead. Okay. Let's go here. It's supposed to go here. Come on. And then go here. Then go Claude. So then I there. Um, usually just some, yes, there it is.
My screen hasn't changed. I'm still sitting on step 6.
Oh, okay. So, oh my. Huh,
You might be able to stop. You might just be able to stay share and whatever you're using.
okay. Ah, okay. I'll get
I
in
was
there.
just I was just going to have you ask Claude, can you push um, or can you push something to my GitHub repo or can you read something from my GitHub repo and see
Um,
how
I
it answers you?
I can push from Claude into or from the RPi into GitHub, and I can do the same on or Nano, and the same on the laptop. And, and when I do a Git push, it comes back and says you're up to date on all three of them.
So can I show you what I do
Yeah.
just as an example? Um, Let me get logged into something here. Well, I'm going to share. I'm going to take over sharing, Bob.
Yeah.
So can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah.
And so this is GitHub in the cloud.
Okay.
Um, this is a screen on my Claude laptop.
Okay.
I'm going to, I happen to have, I hope this, why isn't that on? Must have given me a different IP address. I have to, don't think that one is, let's see. I've got to find out, I've got to figure out the IP address of something. Hold on a second. So I'm logging on to a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
And if I do, I don't like that because I can't see. If I do this ls command, it shows me that tractor, my my repository is cloned
Okay.
on this machine.
Yeah, I
Um,
got that.
uh, and so my workflow is I on my Ubuntu Claude laptop,
Mm-hmm.
it'll give me code suggestions and it will push code up to GitHub.
Okay.
And let's just make a simple change. Uh,
Oh, so you paste that in. Okay.
it doesn't have to be with this file. I could have done any file. I'm just
Oh,
showing
yeah.
you that.
So it changed it all already.
So it's changed it and it's asking, do you want me to commit and push that? And the
Oh,
reason, uh,
okay.
so it has the connection that it can do that. Otherwise, I'd have to download this and do it myself.
Oh,
Um, so I'm saying yes, commit and push it. But before I do that, if we go back up here to GitHub on the web, who am
Hmm.
I? My name is this. But if I go back here and say commit and push it,
Hmm.
it's showing you the commands that it's doing, committed and push. Um, so if I go back up here, it's still there, but I haven't pressed refresh. If I press refresh, I didn't do it. Come on, you're supposed to do that. Why didn't you do that, you dastardly dude? Update name permanent Claude MD main. You're making me. Let's just go back and see what you say about this.
Hmm. Noodling.
Hmm. Saying I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh,
There you go. I was look
there. Now it works.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Oh.
Now, if I go over here to my um, Raspberry Pi
Hmm.
and I don't know how long this is, cat. If I display what's here, uh, who am I? Still has that.
Okay.
So I need to pull down
Oh,
from the web that change.
okay.
And so until I do that, I don't have, if this were code, until I do this get pull, I don't have the code on my Raspberry Pi yet.
Okay.
And so I just did that pull and it's pulled down a few things. One of the things it's pulled down is that new Claude file. So if I go
Yeah,
back and do,
the altered one. Yep.
right. And so now if I do a cat of that Claude,
Hmm.
um,
There it is.
who am I as that?
Yeah.
So my workflow is it on my on the machine where it's generating suggestions and code.
Hmm.
I then say, well, push it up to GitHub. And then on my Raspberry Pi, I pull it down and then I can execute the code. So I'm not copying and pasting code. I'm
Yeah.
just doing pushes and pulls. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a pretty good idea now.
Hope that helps.
Oh yeah.
So then it whatever you're wherever you're getting your suggestions from,
Mm-hmm.
I would want that window, that AI to be able to push stuff up to GitHub so
Yep.
that you could then go back to your RPi or your Jetson Nano and say, pull it down.
Pull it down. Okay.
And just be careful that every time you push something up, you pull it down so that you don't get stuff out of sequence because
Yeah.
it's it is repairable if you do get it out of sequence. It's just a little bit um, I don't know, unsettling or annoying or scary.
One thing I noticed, Claude built an index of all the subfolders, and when I did that, some of the folders weren't in the same order as it was generated. And I'm wondering if that index is up on GitHub, does that change things just with the order of those files, the order of those folders?
Let me share my screen again. I don't, you probably want them to be in sync, but it's probably not, you know, life-threatening if you don't
Oh,
have it exactly correct. Um, so right now I'm in the Claude.md file and it has this structure.
yeah, I've got something like that.
I think it's helpful, but if this gets a little bit like this doesn't have everything
Oh,
because it doesn't have my reference. Um, see how this has, oh yeah, it does. It's got it. I think it's helpful, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if this .md file documentation is slightly out of sync with what's actually happening.
okay.
But you
No,
want to, I mean, you could say go check the repo structure and make sure it's up to date.
okay. I
Like
read that.
this is suggesting I have a hardware folder on the same level as
Oh,
I don't. I may have it one time, but I don't.
okay.
So I could say, um, I could come back to this.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize how flexible this could be.
Again, if it has access to your repo.
Yep. It's combobulating. Boy, some of the words they come up with.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to be. See that what we noticed is this hardware folder wasn't actually there.
Not in the repo.
Um, and then there's some other. other ones the other way.
Okay.
And so it's asking, do you want me to update? So we're not changing code or getting code or anything. We're just messing around with the documentation.
Okay. It's done. Huh.
And again, on this Raspberry Pi,
Yep.
it's not going to be there yet until I do this.
Down.
Yeah, until I do a pull.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing it's showing that it's changed is the MD file.
Okay.
So now it's at the GitHub on the web and it's on my Raspberry Pi.
Okay. Now, do you sync your repos on the Pi? Oh, you've only got one processor, and that's the Pi, right?
You will want to sync them on all of your processors.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to get out of sync.
No.
And
Yeah.
so,
So
um,
right now I got three different vault references, and I want to be, if I make a change on the Pi, I want it to, so I have to sync all three of them.
you maybe you only do that once a day or, uh, but they'll get out of sync if you don't do it sometime.
Yeah.
Um, like now I have a I have a Raspberry Pi sitting on my base station.
Okay.
It's out of sync with the Raspberry Pi on my tractor.
Oh,
So I want to make sure anytime I go out here to work on this other Raspberry Pi, I always pull down what is the latest um, content from the cloud. If you keep the cloud up to
yeah.
date all the time and you always pull down the cloud before you make any changes, then you're in good shape. But
Okay.
a really fast way to screw things up is start making changes on your processor without pulling down from the GitHub on the web first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It all seems so logical.
Yeah, but you think, oh, I just have one little change to make, and I could just make it
Mm-hmm.
quicker here,
Mm-hmm.
and that may be true, but you get stuff out of sequence. It's a pain.
No, I think I've got a pretty good idea what I have to accomplish next.
I'm going to turn off recording now.
Okay.